Hello, welcome back to the Bullet Journal Breakdown, and today is episode 10, and it's all about weekly spreads. Weekly logs are the most common type of logs that I use, but I know others use the daily log more. A weekly log is where you plan out the days of the week for your upcoming week, and some people like to set them up on Sundays. I just set them up on the weekend. It doesn't really matter what day for me. You can set them up at the beginning of every week, or you could also set them up every month. It's really up to you, whatever you decide, but I like to set them up weekly because that way I can tell if I'm going to have a more busy week or a shorter week, and I can accommodate for that much space. So the reason why weekly logs are helpful is because they allow you to see your week at a glance. With a monthly log, you can see a brief one or two events in your upcoming week, but if you were to set up a weekly log, then you could see a more in-depth description of what is happening in your week, and also it will prepare you for the days to come. Let's get into the 5 types of weekly logs I will be showing you today. The first type of weekly log that I will be sharing with y'all in this video is a traditional horizontal 2-page layout, and in this you just split each side of the page into 4 sections, leaving you with 8 total sections, and in that last section you can put in whatever you want, but I chose to put in a mini calendar and a quote. Later in the video I will be putting in a mini habit tracker, but again, it's up to you. I typically like to start my weeks with a Monday, but I know a lot of people do Sundays. I just made it very simple. I wrote the number of the day in my yellow Crayola Super Tip, and then on top I went in with a brush pen, but you can also do this with a black Crayola Super Tip. I wrote the first 3 letters of every day. If you wanted to write out the entire name of the day, that is again up to you. There are a lot of ideas on Pinterest. After I wrote in all the days of the week, I decided to go back in and highlight the week that I made the weekly spread for. Again, this is totally optional. Next to it, as I mentioned earlier, I put in a quote, and for some reason this yellow Crayola Super Tip was really inspiring me to do a happy sunshine theme. So I wrote bask in the sunshine. Then I drew these droplet things but sideways. I kept it overall pretty minimal. The next type of spread that I am setting up is a vertical spread, and this is done by many different ways. You can either split one page up into 3s and then the other page up into 4 spaces, or you could do 3 on both sides but then use the last one for the weekend, whatever floats your boat. But for this video I decided to do 3 columns on one page and then 4 columns on the other. Then I'm leaving a couple of boxes empty at the top and drawing a line with my Crayola Super Tip again to separate it, and in those top boxes I will be writing in events if I have an event that day. And then above each column, again, I'm writing out the first 3 letters of each day of the week at the top so I can separate them. I decided to draw these semicircles above each of them, and I later turned them into like suns that are rising or setting over the horizon, however you want to think about it. After that, I took my brush pen again and I wrote the number of each of the days on top of the yellow semicircle, and at the bottom I wrote the sun will rise again tomorrow. I really don't know where any of these quotes are coming from. It's just I was just really in a mood, I guess. So a variation of this vertical tracker is a time log or time tracker, what you do is you want to separate them into each hour, and on the left hand side I'm writing in the time. Again, the time will change based on whatever time your day starts, and then in each section you write down what you're doing during that time, and this can be helpful for planning events and stuff too. This is another spread idea, and it doesn't have to be with the vertical, and it could also be with the horizontal. What I did was I inserted a scrap piece of paper that I had, and I taped it in, and I'm writing things like self-care to-dos, brain dump, grocery shopping list, and gratitude. And these things are just like extra things that you can add into your weekly spread. And the purpose of a Dutch door spread is to add more information, especially if you have a busy week where, let's say, you can only fit 2 days a page. You can cut half of another page vertically, and then you have like another page. Yeah, then you can just flip it over and use it like that. The last spread that I'm showing y'all in today's video is a weekly log, but it's all condensed onto one page. And this spread is great, especially if you know that you don't have much going on in the week. And if you replicate this layout on the other side, then you have 2 weeks on a regular 1 week 2-page spread. And I've been using a lot of these since the summer started because I know I don't have that much to do every day, and this helps save a lot of space. And then I'm just going in and adding little dashes next to each day to make it more interesting looking. I put in the first letter of each day. And then, like I said, I had a blank section left over, and in this I decided to make a mini habit tracker. If you make a regular big habit tracker, you don't have to do this at all, but this is mainly for if you don't have a big monthly tracker. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you missed last week's video, I will link it up here, and that's on Anthony's channel. And I will also link the playlist also in the cards and in the description, so you can check out the rest of the episodes of the Bullet Journal Breakdown series. See you in the next episode.